Her name was Evelyn. She was 74 years old, stage 3 ovarian cancer. The surgeons said surgery would give her 5 to 7 more years, good years. Years where she could watch her grandchildren grow up. Years where she could travel like she'd always planned. Years where she could be a person, not a patient. Medicare Advantage denied the surgery 7 times over 9 months. By the time they finally approved it, the cancer had spread to stage 4. The surgery that could have saved her life became the surgery that could only make her comfortable. Evelyn died 11 months after her diagnosis. She should have had years. March of 2025. Evelyn went to her doctor because she was having pain. Not terrible pain, just persistent. The kind of pain you ignore for a while because you're busy and you figure it'll go away. But it didn't go away. Her doctor ordered tests. The tests led to more tests, and then came the diagnosis. Ovarian cancer, stage 3. Caught early enough that treatment could work. Her oncologist was optimistic. He'd seen this before. Surgery to remove the tumors, followed by chemotherapy to kill any remaining cancer cells. The 5-year survival rate for stage 3 ovarian cancer with proper treatment was over 60%. Without treatment, she had months. Her oncologist submitted the authorization request the same day. It was standard protocol. Stage 3 ovarian cancer with no metastasis to distant organs. Surgical intervention followed by adjuvant chemotherapy. Evidence-based treatment supported by every major oncology organization in the country. He marked it urgent. He included all the pathology reports, all the imaging studies, all the documentation anyone could possibly need. He'd done this 100 times before. It usually took 3 to 5 days for approval. The first denial came back in 48 hours. Reason given was experimental procedure. Evelyn's daughter called the insurance company. She spent 2 hours on the phone. The surgery wasn't experimental. It was standard care. The representative said the denial was based on their medical review. When asked what medical review, the representative said she couldn't provide those details. Evelyn's oncologist resubmitted with additional documentation and citations from medical literature, showing this was established standard of care. Second denial. This time the reason was lack of documentation. Evelyn's daughter couldn't understand. They'd sent everything. Every test result. Every scan. Every pathology report. What more could they possibly need? The oncologist called the insurance company directly. He spoke with a medical reviewer who'd never treated ovarian cancer. The reviewer said they needed more evidence that surgery was necessary. The oncologist explained that without surgery, his patient would die. The reviewer said to submit another appeal with additional supporting evidence. Third denial came 3 weeks later. The reason changed again. Patient age exceeds guideline recommendations for aggressive intervention. Evelyn was 74. She walked 3 miles every morning. She volunteered at the library. She took care of her grandchildren twice a week. Age exceeds guidelines. Her daughter read that line over and over, trying to make it mean something other than what it clearly meant. They thought her mother was too old to be worth saving. By the time the 4th denial arrived, 2 months had passed since diagnosis. The reason this time was alternative treatments available. The insurance company recommended trying chemotherapy first without surgery. Evelyn's oncologist wrote a letter explaining that chemotherapy without surgical removal of the tumors would be ineffective. The cancer needed to be removed. That's how you treat stage 3 ovarian cancer. You remove what you can see and then kill what you can't. He submitted the appeal with letters from 2 other oncologists supporting his treatment plan. 5th denial. Facility not in network. The hospital where Evelyn's oncologist worked, where all her records were, where the surgical team that specialized in ovarian cancer was located, wasn't in network. Her daughter called to find out what facilities were in network. She was given a list of 3 hospitals. None of them had gynecologic oncology specialists. None of them had surgeons experienced in complex ovarian cancer cases. She asked if they could make an exception, since there was no comparable in-network facility. She was told to file another appeal. Sixth denial. 4 months had passed now. Evelyn was getting weaker. The pain was worse. She'd lost weight. Her oncologist ordered new scans. The cancer was growing. Still stage 3, but the tumors were larger. Time was running out. The reason for the sixth denial was simply previous denials upheld upon review. They weren't even pretending to look at new information anymore. They'd said no 5 times, so they were saying no again. Evelyn's daughter hired a patient advocate, someone who specialized in fighting insurance denials. The advocate reviewed the entire case and told her honestly that she'd never seen anything like this. 7 denials for standard cancer treatment. It was unprecedented. They filed a 7th appeal. This time they included letters from 4 different oncologists, documentation from the American Cancer Society treatment guidelines, from the National Comprehensive Cancer Network, and a letter from Evelyn herself explaining that she wanted to live to see her grandson graduate high school. 7th denial. Final denial. 7th and final denial. No further appeals permitted per policy guidelines. 9 months had passed since diagnosis. Evelyn's oncologist ordered new scans to prepare for one last appeal to the State Insurance Commission. The scans showed what he'd feared. The cancer had spread. Stage 4 now. Metastasis to the liver. The surgery that could have cured her 9 months ago could now only reduce her pain. He sat with Evelyn and her daughter and explained what this meant. Evelyn didn't cry. She just nodded. She'd known. She could feel it. They finally approved the surgery 3 weeks later. Not because they changed their mind, but because stage 4 cancer with metastasis qualified under different guidelines. The surgery that was denied 7 times when it could save her life was approved when it could only delay her death. Evelyn had the surgery in January of 2026. They removed what they could. It wasn't enough. She started chemotherapy, but her body was too weak. She made it through 2 rounds before her oncologist told her continuing would do more harm than good. Evelyn died on a Tuesday in March, exactly 11 months after her diagnosis. Her daughter was with her. So were her grandchildren. She got to say goodbye. But she should have had years. The surgery she needed in March of 2025 would have given her 5 to 7 more years. Instead, 9 months of denials turned a survivable cancer into a death sentence. 3 days after the funeral, another letter arrived from the Medicare Advantage plan. They were still withdrawing the monthly premium from Evelyn's Social Security. $198.62. Her daughter called to cancel the policy. They said they needed a death certificate. She sent it. The next month, they withdrew the premium again. She called again. They said the death certificate wasn't properly notarized. She had it notarized and sent it again. They withdrew the premium a 3rd time. Every month, seeing that charge come through feels like they're killing her mother again. This is not rare. This is happening across the country. Cancer patients being denied surgery. Being told to try cheaper treatments first. Being told they're too old. Being told to wait while the disease spreads. By the time approval finally comes, it's too late. The treatment that could have saved them becomes the treatment that only postpones the inevitable. If this happened to your mother, your wife, your sister, your daughter, someone you love, you need to know these stories matter. Every denial that turns survivable cancer into terminal cancer needs to be documented. Every month lost to appeals while disease progressed needs to be counted. Every person who died waiting for authorization needs to be remembered. Share these stories. Send them forward. Make them impossible to ignore. Complete anonymity guaranteed. Just the truth of what happened. This will keep happening until enough people understand what's being done. Until the cost of letting people die becomes higher than the cost of treating them. Right now, someone else is getting their third denial. Someone else just got the letter saying their appeal has been rejected. Someone else's cancer is spreading while insurance companies review their case. This is the reality of Medicare denied. This is what happens when profit matters more than survival. Right now, as you watch this, another woman is reading her 7th denial letter, and her cancer is still growing. Subscribe, because next year it could be someone you love, and you'll wish you had known.